an intellectual analysis of the Epic of Gilgamesh around Genesis. The Gilgamesh story, written approximately 4,000 years ago, is an influence of prevailing literature, including that of the Pentateuch narratives, which include the 5 stories Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. My intention is to correlate how the epic tale of Gilgamesh and the 5 books of the Pentateuch have corresponding signs to each other, and how these signs impact every story. The way the story of Gilgamesh is used to influence these 5 starts in the first passages, where it describes Gilgamesh as being a tyrant king and evil. His people prayed for salvation and were sent a savior, so the story in his quest to become a better king. In the ancient Near East stories, it was believed that they were powerful warriors like Gilgamesh, but in Genesis, God created life to display his glory and to establish a relationship with humanity. Created in his image to share in his love and goodness, the influence from Gilgamesh to Genesis is when Enkidu is made by the gods to be a counterbalance to Gilgamesh. He is formed from the clay of the ground, similar with the second creation or story of humans in Genesis 2. Also in Genesis 2, where Adam and Eve can no longer stay in Eden, it is similar to when the Enkidu no longer belongs to Eden, after being with Shamhat, the courtstein, who Gilgamesh sent to tame him. In Genesis 6-5, the Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. So warned Noah to construct an ark. This is represented in the epic tale of Gilgamesh in the story of Unativism, where a person who miraculously survives a flood sent by the gods to eradicate all humankind for their wickedness. These similarities suggest it's almost like these stories are relating or happening at the same time, but most likely, since these books or tablets were wrote not long apart, you could make an argument that they were the same story. The intellectual analysis of the Epic of Gilgamesh falls upon many chapters of the Pentateuch, but what has the most influence is the book of Genesis. Even if the books were written at a different time period, they share some similar aspects of each other. For example, in Genesis 8-8, Noah, after spending 40 days on the ark, sent out a dove to scout for land. The same thing happens in the Epic of Gilgamesh, where the flood hero Utopism, similar to Noah in the biblical story, sending out birds to search for land. It almost seems that the Genesis story takes inspiration from the older Epic of Gilgamesh.